A group of 4 friends, Mia, Alex, Jordan, and Lisa, stand outside an imposing abandoned Victorian mansion. Its windows are cracked and vines climb the rotting wooden exterior. A storm brews in the distance. Mia, are you sure about this? Alex, come on, it's just an old house. Besides, didn't you say you wanted an adventure? Jordan, yeah, Mia, you scared? Lisa, serious. Guys, I heard people went missing here. The townsfolk call it the Echoing Manor for a reason. The friends push open the creaking front door. Inside, the air feels heavy, and the faint smell of mildew fills the grand, crumbling foyer. A chandelier hangs precariously above. Mia, we thought it would be fun, like something out of a horror movie, but we had no idea what we were walking into. Dusty furniture is arranged neatly, as if someone still lives there. A grand piano stands in the corner. Lisa brushes her hand across the keys, but no sound comes out. Jordan, weird. Suddenly, a single, clear piano note plays. Both freeze. Lisa's hand isn't on the keys anymore. Lisa, did you hear that? Meanwhile, Mia and Alex explore the upstairs bedrooms. One room has a child's bed, toys scattered on the floor. A rocking horse creaks slowly back and forth, even though the air is still. Alex, teasing. Maybe the ghost wants to play. Mia, snapping. Shut up, Alex. This place is giving me the creeps. As she turns to leave, she notices a mirror on the dresser. Her reflection doesn't move when she does. Instead, it raises its hand, pointing toward the closet behind her. Mia screams, and Alex rushes to her. Alex, what is it? Mia, shaking. The mirror. It moved. Jordan and Lisa hear Mia's scream and run to find her. On their way, the grand piano in the parlor begins playing a haunting melody on its own. Lisa and Jordan glance at each other but don't stop. Upstairs, they find Mia trembling in Alex's arms. Lisa, what happened? Mia, we need to leave. Now. Alex shakes his head and insists they're imagining things. As he argues, the sound of children laughing echoes down the hallway. All 4 freeze. Jordan, there's no one else here, right? They decide to stick together and head for the front door. But when they reach it, the door is gone, replaced by a solid wall. Panic sets in as they realize the house is shifting around them. Mia, this can't be real. The group stumbles into the dining room. The long table is suddenly set with plates of rotting food. Candles light themselves, and the chairs scrape back as if unseen guests are taking their seats. Voice, whispering, "Welcome home." The friends scream and run, but the house seems to stretch endlessly. Hallways loop back on themselves, and doors open to brick walls. One by one, they're separated. Lisa, now alone in a small, dark room. She hears faint whispers growing louder. A child's voice giggles behind her. Child's voice, "Play with me." Lisa turns, but the room is empty. Then the closet door creaks open. A pale, hollow-eyed child stands there, grinning. Lisa's scream echoes. Meanwhile, Alex finds himself in the basement, where walls ooze black liquid. He hears Mia's voice calling for help. Following it, he reaches a well in the center of the room. Peering inside, he sees Mia's face staring back at him from the dark water. A hand shoots up, grabbing him, and drags him in. Jordan stumbles into the foyer, now completely warped and unrecognizable. The chandelier has transformed into a mass of writhing shadows. As he tries to escape, the shadows descend, engulfing him. Mia, the last survivor. She finds herself back in the child's bedroom. The mirror on the dresser is shattered, and the closet door is wide open. A faint voice whispers her name. Voice whispering. "You're ours now," Mia screams as hands reach out from the closet, dragging her into the darkness. The furniture is back in place, the chandelier pristine. The sound of faint laughter echoes. The front door creaks open, as if inviting the next visitors inside. A dark and stormy night, the rain pours down heavily, and the wind howls through the cracks in the windows. Inside, Jane, a young woman in her mid-20s, is unpacking boxes in the living room. Jane thought moving to this town would give her a fresh start, a chance to escape the noise of city life. But from the moment she stepped into this house, she knew something wasn't right. The place had an energy about it, a weight. But she was alone. She couldn't afford to be afraid. First night, the house is eerily quiet. The sound of the storm outside is muffled, as though the house itself is absorbing the noise. She sets her phone on the kitchen's counter and walks to the living room, where the fireplace flickers dimly. Jane to herself, "It's just an old house, nothing to worry about." Jane walks through the house, her footsteps echoing in the otherwise silent space. Suddenly, a low, almost imperceptible whisper drifts from the walls. Whisper. Faint, barely audible. Jane. She stops in her tracks, her heart skipping a beat. Jane, looking around. "Hello?" No response. Jane shrugs it off, thinking it's just the wind. But as she continues to walk, the whisper grows louder, clearer. Whisper. "Jane, don't go." Jane freezes, her hand hovering over the light switch. The hairs on the back of her neck stand up. She slowly turns to look down the dark hallway. The house feels colder now. Jane told herself it was just the wind. That's what you do when your mind starts playing tricks. But it wasn't the wind. It was something else. She was sure of it. Jane in bed later that night, the storm still raging outside. She's trying to fall asleep, but the whispers return. They're louder now, filling the room. Whispers. "Jane, come closer. Let us in." She clutches the blankets tightly, her eyes darting around the dark room. She gets out of bed and moves to the hallway, where the whispers seem to be coming from. She hesitates, but then, driven by an unknown force, follows the sound. She walks into the living room, the shadows growing longer as she enters. The old walls creak and groan, the floorboards shifting beneath her weight. The whispering intensifies. Whisper, louder now. "Come closer. We are waiting." Jane approaches the wall where the whispers are coming from. Her hand reaches out to touch the cold, damp surface of the wall. Suddenly, there's a sharp noise, like something scraping on the inside of the wall. A low growl follows. Jane, terrified, whispering, "What the hell?" The wall starts to shake, as if something large is moving behind it. The scraping grows louder and more frantic. Jane stumbles back, her heart pounding in her chest. The next morning, she's exhausted, sitting at the kitchen table, her hands shaking as she sips a cup of coffee. The storm has passed, but she can still hear the faint echo of whispers in the walls. She tries to ignore it. Jane didn't want to believe it. She wanted to pretend it was just a dream, but the whispers didn't stop. They followed everywhere she went in that house, and she could feel something, someone, watching me. Jane walking through the house later that evening. She's carrying a flashlight, her footsteps echoing in the silent halls. She approaches the wall again, but this time she's not afraid. She presses her ear against it, trying to hear more clearly. "Jane, who are you?" The whispers stop abruptly. Then a loud, guttural voice responds from inside the wall. Voice, deep, growling. "We are the Forgotten." Jane jumps back, her flashlight falling to the floor. The voice continues, growing louder and more frantic. Voice, "We are the ones who never left. We were trapped here, and now you're one of us." Suddenly, the wall cracks open, revealing a dark, gaping hole. The air grows thick with the scent of decay. Jane stares in horror as something starts to crawl out of the hole, pale, twisted limbs and a body contorted in unnatural ways. The figure moves toward her, its face a blur of shadows. Jane screams, scrambling to her feet, but the figure lunges at her, its hands gripping her ankle. She kicks and pulls away, but it's too strong. The figure lets out a bone-chilling scream, its voice growing louder, more frantic. Voice, in a twisted chant. Join us, forever. Jane manages to break free, running out of the room, but the whispers follow her, now louder, more insistent. The walls seem to shift and warp, closing in on her. Outside the house, panting heavily, the house looms behind her, dark and silent once again. But Jane knows it's not over. The whispers are still there, in her mind, in the walls, in the very air she breathes. Jane ran as fast as she could, but she can still hear them. They're inside her now. The house, it never really lets go. The shadows creeping along the walls as the whispers echo one last time. Whisper, faint, chilling. You'll be back. You'll never leave.